A card printed before the record happened. A card arrived a year too late. A card that went out with nothing said about what had just happened to the player on it. These are 10 cards from the 70s still worth knowing today. Number 10, 1976 Topps traded card, number 74T, Oscar Gamble, traded from Cleveland to the Yankees. Topps used a photograph for his Cleveland days. The Yankee cap and pinstripes were painted over the original uniform, airbrushed by hand the way Topps handled a lot of trades that era. During his time with Cleveland, Gamble had grown what may have been the largest afro in the history of professional baseball. 8 inches at its height, helmets barely fit when he ran the bases. When he arrived at Yankee spring training, there was no uniform waiting for him. George Steinbrenner wouldn't issue one until he got a haircut. The team found a barber willing to work on a Sunday. Steinbrenner later paid Gamble the $5,000 he'd lost in a product endorsement deal over this. The card shows him before any of that. The hair is still fully there, the Yankees cap painted on top of it in a way that couldn't have actually happened. By the time he was a Yankee, that hair was already gone. Number 9, 1972 Topps card 595. Nolan Ryan's first card as an Angel. A close-up shot, the vintage Angels halo logo on the cap. No wind-up, no action, just a face in a hat, framed in a color. The trade that sent him there wasn't headline news. That December, the Mets dealt Ryan along with 3 other players to the California Angels for infielder Jim Fregosi. A quiet transaction, a team moving pieces. The Mets had never fully committed to Ryan. The Angels handed him the ball every 5th day and stepped back. In his first full season as a starter, Nolan Ryan posted a 2.28 ERA, 19 wins, and 329 strikeouts. Number 8, card 5, 1971 Topps, Thurman Munson, mid-tag at home plate, dust in the air. An Oakland A's player sliding in head first. A small trophy in the corner marks his Rookie of the Year win the season before. Before 1971, Topps had only used action photography in special subsets, World Series highlights or playoff cards. Every regular player card was posed. Munson's was one of the first players shown mid-play on a standard card. Nobody at Topps wrote down who the sliding player was, or whether it was even called out or safe. Decades later, a researcher combed the box scores and found no matching play. Based on Munson's grip and glove angle, the runner may have actually been safe. It took years and a group of strangers piecing together old photos online to identify him. It was Oakland pitcher Chuck Dobson. The card is one of the most famous action shots Topps ever printed. What it's actually showing, nobody fully agreed on for 40 years. Number 7. Card number 116, 1979 Topps, Ozzie Smith, pictured in a Padres uniform, his rookie card. Smith stayed in San Diego through 1981 in a contract dispute with a no-trade clause protecting him. St. Louis wanted him badly enough that manager Whitey Herzog personally flew out to bring him aboard. Smith went to the Cardinals in 1982, traded for their own all-star shortstop Gary Templeton. A lot of Ozzie's cards came off the press off-center, a printing quirk that made a perfectly centered copy genuinely hard to find. Number 6, card number 300, 1976 Topps Johnny Bench. Mid-play, dust kicked up at his feet, a bold yellow star marking his all-star status. The card shows him in the heat of the moment. Nothing about it says what that year actually cost him. Bench played through chronic injuries most of 1976, the wear of a decade spent behind the plate finally catching up. He led the Reds back to the World Series anyway against the Yankees. Across 4 games, he out-hit their catcher, Thurman Munson, batting .553 with 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. The Reds swept. Bench was named World Series MVP. The card, though, was printed before any of that happened. Just a catcher, mid-play, dust still settling. Number 5, card 615, 1973 Topps, rookie third baseman. Mike Schmidt shares the card with 2 other prospects, but he's the name history remembers. Schmidt had played 13 games in the majors when the card went to print. A September call-up in 1972. 34 at-bats, nothing more. The season that followed was rough. Schmidt hit .196 with 136 strikeouts in his first full year, but he also walked 62 times, giving him a .324 on-base percentage, well above what his batting average alone suggested. By 1974, the power caught up to the patience. He made his first All-Star team and never looked back. By the time he retired, he had hit 548 home runs, still more than any third baseman in baseball history. The card was printed on 13 games and a promise. Everything that made Schmidt himself was still a year away. Number 4. In the summer of 1976, the most talked about player in baseball didn't have a card. Mark Fidrych, 21 years old, talking to the baseball, grooming the mound with his hands. Tiger Stadium averaged over 33,000 fans on the day he started, under 14,000 on the days he didn't. When he pitched a nationally televised game against the Yankees that June, 48,000 people packed the stadium and chanted his name until he came out for a curtain call. He went 19-9 that year and led all of baseball in ERA. Pops photographed players in spring training weeks before the season began. Long shots to make the roster were routinely skipped. Standard practice, nothing unusual about it. Fidrych was one of them. The 1976 set went to print before opening day. By the time he became the hottest player in baseball that summer, the cards were already on store shelves. Kids that summer opened packs all year, looking for the card of the bird. When his card finally came in 1977, card number 265, it carried both the rookie trophy and an all-star designation, the only Topps card of that era to carry both at once. Number 3. Card number 1, 1974 Topps, Hank Aaron, new all-time home run king, printed right on the front. In 1974, Topps changed how the set arrived. For the first time, all 660 cards were printed and delivered at once. No staggered series, no gradual release throughout the season. The whole year, sitting in a box waiting to happen. When Aaron broke the record that April, Topps didn't scramble to react. The title was already printed on card number 1, placed at the very front of the set, prepared for the moment to occur. It was not celebrated, it wasn't announced, it was just placed. The record hadn't happened yet when the card was printed, but Topps had already made room for it. Number 2. Card number 50 is 1973 Topps Roberto Clemente, a side-on action shot waiting on a pitch at spring training the year before. By January of 1973, Topps had already printed their cards. The sets were due in stores in February. On New Year's Eve, 1972, a cargo plane carrying relief supplies for earthquake victims in Nicaragua went down shortly after takeoff. There were no survivors. Roberto Clemente was 38 years old. Topps had done this before when second baseman Ken Hubbs passed away in a plane crash in 1964, with a black band across the top of the card that read "In Memoriam." They had the precedent and time. Cy Berger, the president of Topps, chose differently. No band, no announcement. Card 50 went out exactly as it was. Number 1, 1975 Topps, card number 228, George Brett's rookie card. Neon borders, two-tone color blocking, the loudest design Topps had ever printed. Brett hadn't done much yet. In 1973, he hit .125 across 13 games with Kansas City. His minor league numbers weren't much better. Little power, no standout season. By 1974, he had earned a full season in the majors, finishing third in Rookie of the Year voting on the strength of playing time more than production. That was enough. Topps printed the card, neon borders and all, a design so bright that a flawless copy is rare today. Only a small handful of gem mint copies exist out of everything printed. Nobody watching in 1975 had any reason to know what was coming. The 1975 Topps just sat there, waiting on Mr. Brett.